Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a place that literally shaped the world as we know it. We're talking about a land that gave us our first republic, two major religions, and one of the greatest universities in history. This is the story of emperors and enlightenment, a true cradle of civilization. And it all kicks off with one simple question. So let me ask you something that might just flip what you learned in history class. Forget ancient Greece for just a minute. Where on this planet do you think the idea of a republic, a government actually run by the people, first took root? Well, the answer is right here, Vaishali, in what is now the modern Indian state of Bihar. We're talking centuries before many others even considered the idea. The Likshavi clan here governed through an assembly of elected representatives. It was a real deal government by the people. And believe me, this revolutionary idea is just where our story begins. Okay, let's dive into our first section, the first superpower, because from that little seed of democracy grew an empire so vast and powerful, it would become one of the world's first true superpowers. To really get this, you need to know the name Magadha. That was the ancient name for Bihar, a kingdom that became the absolute heart, the nucleus of not just one, but two of the most powerful empires in all of Indian history. I mean, look at the legends that came from Magadha. It all started with Chandragupta Maurya, the guy who forged the entire Mauryan Empire. His grandson, the one and only Ashoka the Great, took that empire and expanded it to rule almost the whole subcontinent. Then, centuries later, you get Samudragupta from the Gupta dynasty, who was so dominant they called him the Napoleon of India. These guys weren't just kings, they were absolute titans who shaped history, all from their home base in Bihar. But here's the thing, Magadha's power wasn't just about armies and land, it was intellectual. Just to put it in perspective for you, check this out. Nalanda University was founded here way back in the 5th century. It became this global beacon of learning a full 600 years before Europe's oldest university, Bologna, even opened its doors. That's just incredible. And get this number in your head, 2,000. That's how many teachers they had at Nalanda. 2,000 professors for 10,000 students who came from all over Asia. And they weren't just studying one thing. The curriculum was everything from medicine and math to philosophy and astronomy. It was quite simply on a whole other level from anything else in the world at the time. So, we've seen that Bihar was a hub of worldly power and knowledge, but its influence goes even deeper, It runs right into the very soul of human spirituality. This is what we call the land of enlightenment. This is it. This is the spot where one of the world's great religions was born. It was right here in Bodh Gaya, sitting under a Bodhi tree, that Siddhartha Gautama finally attained enlightenment and became the Buddha. The entire origin story of Buddhism is literally etched into the soil of Bihar. And it wasn't just Buddhism. Jainism, another of India's ancient paths of nonviolence, also has its deepest roots right here. Its final great spiritual teacher, Lord Mahavira, was born in Vaishali. Yep, the exact same place where democracy first blossomed. Talk about a special place. Now, this amazing legacy of empire and enlightenment, it isn't just trapped in history books. Oh no, it lives and breathes today in this incredible, vibrant tapestry of culture. And you can really see this cultural richness during Bihar's festivals. The whole year is this amazing mix that shows off this deep social harmony. You've got the colors of Holi, the lights of Diwali, the celebrations of Eid, and of course the birthdays of both Buddha and Mahavira. But there's one festival that, more than any other, just defines the spirit of this region, Chhath Puja. Chhath is really the soul of Bihar's spiritual life. It's a festival of unbelievable discipline and faith, all dedicated to the sun god. You'll see millions of people gathering on riverbanks to offer prayers to the rising and setting sun. It's an absolutely powerful sight. This cultural vibe, it also shines through in its totally unique arts and food. So, what are some of the famous things that have traveled from Bihar to the rest of the world? Well, in art, you have the world-famous Madhubani painting. It's this beautiful, intricate folk style that's been passed down for generations, mostly by women. And when it comes to food, oh man, nothing says Bihar more than litti chokha. It's simple, it's rustic, and it is unbelievably delicious. It really captures the agricultural heart of the region. All right, we've covered the ancient glory and the living culture. But what about today? What's happening right now? In our final section, let's look at how Bihar is building a brand new future on these powerful foundations. This is the modern transformation. First off, its traditional strength is still a huge deal.
Those fertile plains make Bihar an absolute agricultural powerhouse. And we're not just talking about staples. It is the #1 producer in all of India for things like sweet lychees and that superfood makhana, also known as foxnuts.
But the story doesn't end in the fields, not even close. Bihar is evolving, and it's happening fast. It's taking that farming base and building new industries like food processing, using its incredible history to boost tourism, and now it's raising a whole new generation of startups and tech services. And maybe most important of all, Bihar is actively reclaiming its ancient legacy as a global center for knowledge. You see it in the creation of these premier modern institutions, like the IITs and top-tier medical and law schools. And of course, the revival of Nalanda as an international university. That sends a powerful message that Bihar is serious about once again becoming a world capital of learning. So what's the big takeaway here? When you put it all together, the First Republic, the great empires, the first global university, 2 major spiritual paths, you start to see the bigger picture. And maybe it's best summed up by this one powerful thought. Bihar's legacy isn't just a chapter in India's history. In so many ways, it is the very foundation upon which the country